Hello everybody and welcome back to another Devo by Branches. In the craziness of our world, what is the Christian's right action that we're supposed to take? Well, in Luke 18:1, which we covered on Sunday, it says, "Men ought always to pray and not to faint." And we learned that word always there, it actually means in every win, right? So in every situation of your life. So when you're sad, pray. When you're happy, pray. When you're depressed, pray. When you're going through something really, really hard in life, pray. When you're going through good things and blessings keep coming, pray. In every win, in every situation, the Christian's first action we should take and the first response that we should have is one of prayer. Now, if you're sitting there and you're thinking, well, prayer isn't enough. Prayer isn't big enough. Prayer isn't a grand gesture. It's not a good action to take. Well, then let me just tell you this. If prayer isn't a big enough action for you, then your God is too small. See, our God is sovereign. He's in control. He's all powerful. His will is always done, and he's always doing the right things on this earth. And so the way we access our God and the one that's all powerful is we go to him in prayer. That's the greatest action that we can take. That's the biggest thing that we can do is go to God in prayer. If we're not praying because we think that's not a good enough action, then the God that we're have in our imaginations is too small. It's not the God of the Bible. The God of the Bible is all powerful and is always in control. And so we seek him in his will and prayer. But here's another thing. You know what? Instead of taking action, many times what we do in our flesh is we have a reaction, right? And usually it's sinful. I mean, you think about it like when you're driving down the highway and someone cuts you off in traffic. What do? You react. You blow on the horn. You yell. You scream. You get angry. We react in anger. And you look around at our world around us, that's what happens. People react to a situation. Even in our own homes, in my own life, I could see with my kids, with my wife, that oftentimes I don't take a real action. I react to a situation. And you know, and I heard a pastor say today that Christians, we're not supposed to react. We're supposed to actually respond. And we respond first through prayer. See, when your first response to anything that's going on in your life is prayer, it takes you out of the realm of a selfish, sinful reaction and puts you on the right direction of doing a righteous action. That's what we're seeking to do, is having a righteous action, a righteous response to no matter what's going on in our lives. Whether it's today with all the craziness or it's 50 years from now, we have to have the righteous response and reaction. And we start by doing that in prayer. See, when we go to God in prayer, it puts us in the mind of Jesus. You know what Jesus said, the righteous actions that we're supposed to take? Jesus said to love your neighbor. When he said that, he used the illustration of the Good Samaritan that came alongside a road and saw someone that was broken and beaten and completely destitute. And although everyone else passed him by, the Good Samaritan stooped down, spent his own money, his own time, used his own animal to help heal this man. We're supposed to love those around us. And if there's people around us that are hurting, there's people around us that have been abused, there's people around us that are just confused, whatever it is, we need to love our neighbor. But Jesus said another thing, which is also a righteous action. Jesus said, love your enemies. Romans 12 tells us that we should even bless those that are persecuting us. See, we're not just supposed to love the outcast and love the hurting and love those that God puts in our path and loving our neighbors. We're supposed to love the ones that are hurting us. We're supposed to love the ones that are persecuting us. Just as Jesus, as he was dying on the cross, looked at the people that put him there and said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." We got to love our enemies as well. You know, our actions have to be righteous actions. And if we respond correctly, it means that we need to respond first in prayer. Going to God and begging for his will to be done and putting us in the right relationship and right mindset with him to put us away from a sinful reaction and put us in the right direction of a righteous action. Having a righteous response. Going to God in prayer. The Bible says in Romans 12:21 that we're not supposed to be overcome with evil, but we overcome evil with good. And if we want to see the love of Jesus spread in our own lives and spread in our world around us and to our neighbors and even to our enemies, we have to start by praying and praying more. Men ought always to pray and not to faint. Is your first response prayer? If it's not, I suggest you get down on your knees right now and go to God and just beg him to help you see his will and to experience his love and spread that love to others. Thank you guys. Love you guys. Later days.